Hey there, homies. This is Sarah.
And I'm Ashley, and this is Hometown Homicide.
Well, hello, people.
Hello.
This will be the day after the Super Bowl. Hopefully, people aren't hungover. Hopefully, you will have died and gone to heaven after the halftime show, though.
I mean, I don't really care about the Super Bowl. I'm going to watch a halftime show, and that's it, because
Yeah.
duh.
Not
But I am super excited about the new Euphoria
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
episode on HBO Sunday night. Because obviously we're recording before Sunday.
Righto. Yeah. I know I did a little edit intro to last week's episode about Travis Haley that I had, tried to get the word out about him on his accident, but he did not make it. Real quick about that, I am super fucking pissed at the Louisville Metro Police Department because they failed him so bad. He left home around 4. His car accident was called into the police about 4:30, 4:45. They responded at 5:30, marked it as a no injury, and left. And he sat outside for days until hypothermia got him. And that's why he fucking died, not his injuries.
Where did they find him?
Like a mile from the car.
Oh, he walked a long ways.
Or shuffled or crawled or something. But yeah. Which, a mile, I mean, you could easily do in a short amount of time, but you're disoriented. It's cold. He lost a shoe in the accident because it was still in the car. So was his phone. So obviously he had a concussion or his phone was broken or something. Like, yes, if you're right-minded enough to stay with your vehicle if you crash, like that way people can find you, cool. But if you're knocked around and you're not with it, like, what, I don't know. It's just still, I'm pissed. I'm super fucking pissed that this kid died. Because they're like, oh yeah, no injury, and left. And then didn't even tell the owners of the vehicle.
But they don't know that there was no injury because
they didn't fucking find him. They didn't look. They didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. They didn't get a helicopter or anything out until late Saturday. 2 days later.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So I'm super fucking pissed about it, and I'm gonna not let it go. But
well, everybody should be pissed about that.
My little soapbox rant done. Ashley has a story for us.
I do. And today we're going to travel down to Alabama. So this story starts on Monday, March 2nd, 2020, in Hayden, Alabama, where beautiful 32-year-old Breana Noojin Nix was on her way home after working a 12-hour shift at Princeton Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, where she had been a nurse for 12 years. She arrived home around 8 a.m. that morning, and by noon, actually 12:23 to be exact, her husband Steve was calling Breana's sister, Brittany Noojin, and said, very nonchalantly, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what are you doing?" He then said, "Well, you better get over here. Your sister has tried to kill herself."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just called her, "What are you doing?" Then, she's like, "I'm at work and eating lunch." "Well, you better get over here. Your sister tried to kill herself." So Brittany tried to get over there as fast as she could. Normally, it would take her about 25 minutes, but she was running red lights so she could get there just as fast as she could.
Yeah.
Now, her husband, Steven, Breana's husband, Steven, called 911 at 12:12 p.m. Told him that his wife was passed out in the bathtub, and first responders arrived at 12:14. The station is located 30 seconds away.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do that numbers again?
Okay. 12:12, he called 911. 12:14, so 2 minutes later, first responders arrived.
Jesus, that was fast.
They're 30 seconds away. So by the time they get
Yeah,
whatever.
no. That's why I was like, wait a minute. Did you mean like 12:40?
No, 12:14.
Okay, that was
so
fast. Okay, cool.
2 minutes.
Yep.
But when they got there, Steven's parents were already there, along with his uncle, who happens to work for the Blount County Sheriff's Department.
Oh.
First responders also found Breana's body on the floor, not in the bathtub.
Okay.
By the time Brittany arrived at her sister's house, emergency responders were already trying to revive Breana. But Brittany noticed that Breana's husband, Steven, was a little bit more focused on trying to remove garbage from the bathroom, where paramedics were trying to save his wife's life. And from interviews that I've seen of Brittany, she said he was stepping over paramedics, trying to get this garbage, like, in their way.
Okay.
Police asked Steven to unlock his wife's phone, but he refused to provide them the code. Thankfully, Brittany knew the code and gave it to the police, and they unlocked her phone, and it opened up to a Facebook video that Breana had been watching. Steven claimed to have found fentanyl vials and needles in her purse and underwear drawer in the following days after her death. Also, paramedics found an 18-gauge needle in the sink that had a little bit of blood in it in the same bathroom. So the needles that were found in her house were 18 and 25 gauge in size, which are apparently way larger than needles used to do drugs.
Yeah.
And I know nothing about I can't even watch it. But according to Breana's mom, that evidence wasn't there just the day prior when she was there looking for funeral clothes for her daughter. So they were at the house going through her drawers, trying to find clothes.
Okay.
Nothing was there.
Okay.
But then a few days later, Steven was walking around the house showing Brittany, like, leading her where to find stuff. Like, he knew where it was.
Okay.
A friend of Breana asked Steven to send a photo of the vials. And he sent it, and she checked it with the Princeton Medical Center where Breana worked to see if the same vial, to see if it was the same vial that they stocked.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Okay.
Because if she worked at a hospital,
Right.
and if she was a drug user, she would be taking the vials there. It was not the same. Also, remember, Breana was a nurse for 12 years. She's not going to use an 18-gauge needle to inject herself. Apparently, those needles are used for transferring medicine from one vial to another, not for injecting any type of drug into your body. And then also, according to Breana's family, Steven's behavior was super strange. I guess at the funeral, he was just not... He was texting the whole time.
Oh,
just
classy.
not there. All right, so before the funeral, Brittany went to the funeral home to do her sister's hair and makeup. She noticed bruises all over her sister's body. They looked fresh, and there were defensive bruises on her hands. Now, there's also bruises on her and fingernail prints on her feet, but not like... They weren't like someone was dragging the body.
Okay.
Or her. It was more like they were like in a way that someone would hold her down by her feet. There were over 80 needle puncture wounds on her body. All of them were new.
Jesus.
And some were in places where Breana would not have been able to reach with her dominant hand. There were no old track marks. But her death was ruled an accident by a combination of several drugs that were all prescribed to her. But there was a large amount of fentanyl and almost twice the amount that would be lethal. So how would you, if you were injecting yourself with fentanyl, you would, and if there was twice the amount that would be lethal.
How fast acting is that?
Fentanyl is very quick acting.
Okay.
Apparently.
So yeah, how would you have gotten anywhere but the exact position that you just injected yourself with it?
Exactly. And why would there be 80 new puncture wounds on you? And if it would have knocked you out and killed you, why would there be more?
Yeah.
Suspicious.
I mean, 1,700 red flags. 80 red flags, actually.
We haven't got to the red flag. I mean, yes. I mean, we can count the red flags.
Mm-hmm.
And then just 2 days after Breana's death, Stephen was seen with someone he had cheated on Breana with. And months later, she moved in with Stephen. So instead of grieving the loss of his wife, he's already with someone else. He refused to also let the sheriff's office search his truck, and he refused to let them have his phone. Now, according to Facebook, their Facebook page, there are messages that are posted on there of him asking a company to detail his truck right after this. And everything is on their Facebook page, honestly. Like, there really isn't, like, without them providing this information, no one would know about it. Nobody.
Right.
They are trying to get the autopsy, and they will not give it to them.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, I do, but, like, I don't get how they just are like, oh, yeah, it was an accidental death. I know you're not done telling me.
Well, honestly, that is the information that about her death is what that's out there. Now I have a lot of facts to go through from what they said. But remember, Stephen's uncle is on the Blount County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
And that day he was actually like, he was supposed to be doing something else. So the fact that he made it there and his parents made it there before.
Well, that just says he called them first.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's.
And he did not call Brittany until 12:23.
Yeah, until after.
After all of this.
After everything. Yeah, because you said she got there and they were trying to revive her. So, like, yeah.
So here is what they are.
What's his fucking name again?
Stephen Nick.
Stephen. And I like the name Stephen, but this Stephen.
Now, no one has been, obviously, charged with her. Like, it's not even ruled a murder.
Right. So
it is
an
accidental overdose. So here are the facts. Breana was found in her bathroom by her husband 4 hours after she got home from work. She was a nurse for 12 years and worked with fentanyl daily. She had to take a drug test for her job. She was found with multiple injection sites that were all the same color and in the places that she wouldn't have been able to reach herself. Both of her hands, front and back, were severely bruised. Her feet had multiple injection sites and other bruises that were all the same color. According to nurses that we have spoken to, right, there is no way that she could have worked a 12-hour shift with her feet in that condition after viewing the photos that they have.
Interesting. Do we have access to those photos or no?
I don't have those photos.
Okay.
I will post their Facebook page, Instagram. They have a TikTok. There's also a change.org that I'm going to be posting.
Okay.
There's way more to this.
Okay.
There were no marks in between her toes. And they have photos to prove that. If she was trying to hide a drug addiction.
Yeah.
If she was.
Right.
She's going to do it there.
Right. Yeah, I know that just from watching movies and shit.
Yes. I mean, I cannot talk about drug use like that because I would have no idea. Besides, is Intervention still a show?
Fuck if I know.
I used to watch that.
I have no idea.
Still, I get chills just thinking of putting a needle in your body. I can't do it. All of her prescription medications were perfect to date, according to one of the investigators working this case. I should be, numbering these. So that was number 8. I apologize. Number 9. Her husband's story changed 3 times that day. Brittany was there and witnessed it herself. Number 10. She had a life insurance policy through her employer. Number 11, her husband was listed as a first beneficiary to that life insurance policy, which makes sense.
Right.
Spouses normally are. Number 12, she was found with an 18-gauge needle. There were needles of various sizes found at the scene that were unopened. However, the only type of needle near her body was 18-gauge.
Okay.
Number 13, she never had a history of using recreational drugs, ever. Number 14, all family members of the husband's side, including one local deputy, who was also a family member, were allowed in the home during this investigation and never asked to leave. Number 15, the husband was never questioned or interrogated and refused to let them take his phone or search his truck. Number 16, the evidence from the scene was removed from the home by the husband and his family while the first responders were there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like these are all just red flags and not, facts, but red flags. Red flag number 17. The husband had his own black latex gloves that were found in this bag of evidence that the family removed from the home. Number 18. There were at least 3 body cams on officers that worked the scene. I guess that's not a red flag. That is a fact. Okay. Number 19. The authorities have not yet determined 100% where the 2 empty vials of fentanyl came from.
Okay.
Number 20. We are shown by an employee from Princeton what the vials from Princeton, the medical hospital she worked at, looked like at the time of her death, and they did not look anything like the ones found in the home. Which they have an update about Princeton, about the fentanyl, which I'll get to. Number 21. Her coworkers stated that they did not see any unusual bruises or marks on her body during her shift on March 2nd, 2020. These facts are from law enforcement, camera footage, photos, friends, and coworkers of Breana. Now, they do have an anonymous tip line set up. If you have any information, if you've heard Steven talk, anything, it's the number's 205-282-0740. About Princeton's protocol for fentanyl. To pull anything controlled, you have to log in with your fingerprint and count before you pull a vial. If the count is off, you have to go through pharmacy to fix any discrepancy. Once you give the amount needed, which is the fentanyl, I guess, to a patient, the Pyxis keeps up with any waste. To waste the med, you must have another nurse watch you waste it in the correct place and use both fingerprints to the Pyxis to confirm waste. So basically, it's impossible to stick a couple of vials in your pocket and walk out of the hospital, then take them home with you. Which is what they're making it like.
Plus the vials
sound.
match Princeton's anyway. So.
Correct. They do not match at all. All right. So with all the red flags that we've listed and facts, still not pointing any fingers at anybody, but it just seems super suspicious that somebody who everyone had said would never do drugs would be found dead from an overdose of fentanyl, of all things, with needles that just don't fit the description of being used for drugs.
What did you say? They were 18 gauge?
18 and 25 is what were found.
Okay.
But in the bathroom where Breana was found, there was an 18 gauge needle. Again, which is used for transferring from one vial to another, not injecting into your arm. So that's probably why she had so many bruises, because they're probably just stabbing her. Yeah. Okay, right. Again, allegedly, not pointing any fingers. We're just trying to help them get this information out, because this family deserves justice.
Yeah, because this is definitely sketchy.
Very sketchy.
But
that's why when they emailed us, because they did email us at the podcast at hometownhomicide.com, and I was like, wow, this is interesting. And there is a change.org petition that you can sign to help them get the autopsy report.
Yeah. Because
they are just not helping them in any way over there in Blount County, apparently.
Like, I don't understand how obviously they don't have the autopsy report, but the medical examiner ruled it an overdose, but had no input about all these needle marks and the bruises on her. Like, that doesn't fucking make sense.
Here is the not the autopsy.
The
cause of death.
Yes.
So accident,
synergistic effects of multiple drugs.
which most of them were prescription of hers, but fentanyl.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
So that autopsy is what the family wants to see because that's going to probably answer a lot of questions, I feel like. And I feel like from looking at it from an outsider, they're hiding it. Yeah. To have that many bruises in places that were fresh from like that day, it doesn't add up. The math is not mathing.
Right.
Too many red flags in this. Way too many red flags, as Spotted Killer always says in hers, red flag. And this is just littered with red flags. I mean, if you wanted to be with someone else, there's other ways to do it than
3 days later, right?
2 days.
2 days later.
And he was caught cheating on Breana with this same person before they got married. So she caught him cheating, but they worked it out, got married, and that is who
was... Well, okay, so eventually she moved in anyway. I was gonna say, was he seen like with her, like ooh, or just like okay, yeah. I mean, not that that's.
I mean, and it
I'm
could
just
be
saying,
rumors
like maybe
too.
it could have been like a friendship, like oh my god, I'm so sorry, and then it like blossomed or some shit.
No.
But
allegedly, Stephen also had an affair with a lady who was a pharmacist. So you would think that would be an easy way to get fentanyl. And to add to that, his girlfriend also worked at a hospital. So not the same hospital as Breana. So if that fentanyl doesn't match Princeton, which hospital does it match? Does it match the one that his girlfriend worked at? And they're saying as worked, not works at. Her name is Stacy. Also, the pharmacist's name is Stacy. And more people are coming forward 2 years later, and still no criminal proceedings
pending at this time. Yeah, I was just reading that
tweet.
This is literally
live
action.
Live action update. I'm from Brittany, Breana's sister on Twitter. So, yeah, just wanted to share that he allegedly had an affair with a pharmacist who could have got fentanyl. Also, the girlfriend that he's now with, who he had an affair, cheated on Breana with before, worked at a hospital where the fentanyl could have came from. Let's match this fentanyl up with something and see where it came from.
And she just tweeted at us too that if we only had the lot numbers, because yeah, if they had the bottles with lot numbers on them, they could see where the fentanyl bottles got like dispersed to per the lot. But well,
I don't know how that works. So
they had to get rid of the bottles and stuff. There's some very fucked up shit in the timeline on the website for sure. It's very sketchy.
Right, and that website, when I was doing the research, looks like it's from another podcaster. He put it together for them.
I was gonna say it wasn't like
very nice website,
but yeah, this as we were scrolling, or I was scrolling through here.
I found that. I don't know where I found that website. I know it was on one of their pages, and it took me there. And then it's like, this was information provided by the family and whatnot. But again, everything that I found is from the Facebook Justice for Breana Noojin Nix. Excuse me. They do have a Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I will post all the links so you guys can follow along with this case. And if you can please do one thing to help out this family, is go to thechange.org, which I will post as well, and sign the petition.
Yeah. What? Okay. Why did he even mention anything about the bathtub?
I don't know. It shows here. Husband stated that the wife was in the bathtub on the 911 call. It says, comment, female passed out in the bathtub, but they found her on the floor with the needle underneath her arm.
which I'm sure he would credit that to pulling her out and trying to resuscitate
Nope.
or something.
They never once tried CPR. Even the uncle who was...
Like, he admitted that he didn't try to...
None of them tried CPR.
Okay.
From the interviews that I've listened to, that CPR was not started. If I am wrong, someone can please correct me, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
But the uncle who wasn't investigating the case, but he was there, from what I remember listening to, did not start CPR.
Isn't that, like, practically in an oath or some shit that you would take as a police officer?
I think even if, like,
or,
if you know CPR, if you're certified in
Men of
CPR,
the
which
law.
you have to be, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
in that position,
Mm-hmm.
you, if anyone is needing it, you, I think, legally have to.
That's what I mean. Like, don't you, like, isn't that part of your kind of deal?
Whether you were on duty or not, like, even if you were there
and helping and all that.
Right, and he was there in his uniform. He wasn't off duty. Now, I don't know if he was actually on duty, but he was in police clothes. Now, even if he was in plain clothes and just there, he still, I think, legally has to at least perform CPR. I don't know the laws. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know, but I'm pretty
even
sure
if not
you do.
legally, if you fucking know how, why aren't you trying? I wonder what kind of legal action the family could take to get a fucking copy of his phone records to see how long before,
like, when he called
his fucking uncle and shit,
his mom and dad.
Yeah, all them.
The other thing too, they did, like, they asked for his phone and he denied, which at that point, get a warrant.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know how, like, what they would need to get a warrant.
And no fingerprints on the vials or anything?
They didn't take that because the family took the evidence out of the house.
Oh, right.
So they've been trying to contact the DA.
Yeah.
Where they're at, maybe Blount County. And apparently, so someone tagged the DA. The DA removed the tag from the post and then blocked that person.
Of course.
So the share wouldn't show. Apparently, that public official is not allowed to block anyone.
Interesting.
Did not know that.
I don't know either.
So they're asking people to keep, like, contacting them, but I guess this DA keeps shoving, like, pushing them off. Doesn't want to just push them to the side. They want answers, and I don't blame them.
No shit. Something ain't right.
And, you know, the fact that they sent this, and then that other case where that other girl was found unresponsive after her Bumble date.
Oh, yeah.
And that came back, her toxology report came back fentanyl as well.
Yeah, and not that it matters, but
didn't question the Bumble date because he seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy.
But they're not questioning the husband, and he literally is telling people, like, yeah, she had a drug problem that she was hiding. So if anyone knows anything, I know there's a lot of podcasts that are covering this right now, but the word needs to get out there.
Yeah,
because
I definitely have never heard of it. It's not that old.
And I hadn't heard of it until they emailed us, so thank you so much for emailing that to us.
Yeah.
Super appreciate it.
We will share the shit out of it to hopefully get some momentum.
We will definitely put that all over Twitter. Anyone has any information regarding what happened to Breana Noojin Nix, please report that to the anonymous tip line 205-282-0740. To wrap all of this up, since we are a podcast supporting other podcasts, shout out again to How to Spot a Killer. She's amazing. Her personality is really showing in her episodes, which are great.
I mentioned on the tweeter the other day that we should do a collab, call it How to Spot a Hometown Homicides killer or well, how? Yeah,
I
that's what it was.
did see that.
And so I was like, well, and then it dawned on me that she ends hers with "Stay safe" as well, and I'm like, oh my god, it's meant to be.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's a great supporter. She follows us on the TikTok now. So
Mhm.
I've been posting some TikToks on my page. If you want a good laugh, go over to my TikTok. I can post it on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, Twitter, because that's
Mhm.
where we're the most active. But yeah, TikTok really doesn't like to push out our videos about murder for some reason. It's just weird. So if you want to, you can go to my TikTok, which is Asher_Larson. Sarah has a TikTok too. She's more TikTok famous than I am.
I mean, just I had something go semi-viral about a suggestion for a frickin' derp. What's that called?
Sign language.
I see, yeah, American Sign Language sign. I didn't know I was violating rules by suggesting it, but it was just an innocent suggestion. And then I had one go semi-viral about my cats. So what's my handle? Sarah Marie 49.
Yeah. And then also another shout out is the Jury Room podcast. They have been actually very helpful on Twitter on trying to help diagnose the sound, because I was very, very, very frustrated because we're working on the sound, but we got some new stuff coming.
Yes, I had to do some deep diving investigation on what the fuck was going on, and yes, I have some resolutions to that. So we're on the way. We're getting there.
So yeah, check out the Jury Room podcast because they were very helpful. Like the sweetest message, like, I'd like to help you guys out. I'm like, thank you. So check them out, because we are not here to bash any other podcast. We're here to help and support each other, which I love the podcast community, which I said on Twitter. You guys are amazing. Which, they support us, we support them, which I love, because I have new podcasts added to my list now.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, it's been awesome, this whole podcast journey. And for anyone who is still listening to us with our ups and downs of sound, we appreciate you so much. The other thing, we have Patreon as well. Hometown Homicide podcast on Patreon. We do have a new level, which is the $1 level. Mm-hmm. So you can get our episodes earlier. If you want to help support us, that would be awesome. But Patreon is out there. Also, we have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Hometown Homicide Podcast. And then Twitter. Come join the conversation. Come have fun with us on Twitter, because we've been having a lot of fun on Twitter. Is at OpeMurder. And our website, hometownhomicide.com. So you can find all those links on our links in bio.
And just a fun little thing about our analytics. We had someone in Hawaii and in Zambia, the country of Zambia in Africa.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. We're getting around.
So again, thank you for sticking with us. And it's been amazing so far. And
we hit over 2,000 downloads the other day.
We did. Now, I did read something on Twitter about what is the cringiest thing people can say in a podcast, and it's about their downloads. Sure. But you know what? Fuck them.
Go us.
You don't need to listen.
Of ourselves, so we want to be happy about it.
Yes, we do celebrate our milestones, and everyone should celebrate their milestones. Don't listen to grumpy old men not just men, grumpy old people in general.
Debbie Downers.
But anyways, yeah, so thank you so much. We're going to work on making this even better.
Yes. I forgot to mention earlier. Sorry, I know. One other thing. I forgot to mention earlier the whole Travis Haley blunder. There is a link that I'll get in the show notes to, if you are so inclined to. It's kind of like a GoFundMe, but it's not GoFundMe. It's a different website, to donate any money towards family to help with funeral costs or, whatnot. I'll put that in there too.
And don't forget the giveaway on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. We're at 47.
We're at 46 now.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah. Obviously, someone listens.
Somebody didn't like it.
They watch a video and they're like, nope, I'm out.
Fuck them bitches.
Whatever. Do you. Anyways, we are at 46. Once we hit 100, our first milestone, and we'll give some other merch away at other milestones so people have other opportunities. But when you do follow, make sure you do comment on one of the videos. Let us know so you can be entered. And our merch is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I hate to toot our own horn, but you saw the hat Sarah posted.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a couple more samples of stuff and whatnot, but yeah, I'll be one of the first to represent, you know. But yes, anyway, guys, remember we want to tell stories to you, not about you, so stay safe.
And this was Hometown Homicide.
Bam, bam.